morning, guys. My hair is still wet, so we're just gonna ignore that, but welcome to today's video. I thought in today's video I would kind of talk about how I deal and cope with my anxiety and stress, and also just take you guys through my daily life and stuff, which are my favorite types of videos to film. This morning I went for a run. As you guys saw, it wasn't super long, it was 15-20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. I actually don't know, I didn't time it, but it was super great to go on a run. I wanted to go before it started raining because I think now it's starting to drizzle ever so slightly. I just kind of wanted to talk about how I deal with anxiety and things. For me personally, I have struggled with anxiety pretty much my entire life. It's been something that's always been there, but it comes in waves of me dealing with it and it being super intense and less intense and such. Recently, I've really been struggling with it because I think I've been unemployed for a long period of time, kind of clueless as to what I'm doing. But this week has been actually a super good week in terms of having clarity and routine. I worked twice this week and then I also went on a little date this week. Definitely think having routine helps a lot with my anxiety. And I think, like I mentioned in my last video, I've been switching to decaf for coffees to help with feeling anxious and things. Definitely think it's been helping. It's made me realize how much I actually don't need coffee to function. I always am I need coffee to function, I'm always tired and stuff, but I switched to decaf and I kind of I do still feel tired, but I think that is because I've just been doing quite a lot of things. But yeah, in terms of reading updates, I finished The Blood Traitor a few days ago, which was pretty incredible. I don't have the book with me because it was from a library, so I sent it back to the library. But that series in general, The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, is literally a 6-star series for me. It wrapped up so perfectly, the ending book. I mean, the ending book was probably my least favourite out of the series. I do find with series, I think the last book tends to be my least favourite because it's really, really hard. I mean, I imagine as a writer, it's really hard to end a series after having so much built up tension and everything. But yeah, I'm now reading The Memory Police. I'm 74 pages into this book. It's not a very long book, so I actually think I'll probably finish this in the next few days, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's a dystopian book based on an island where things go disappearing, and there is also these people called the Memory Police who go around and kind of make sure everything is intact and that people are following the rules and stuff. Additionally, I also went to the library yesterday and I picked up Malice by John Gwynne. I have seen someone read this on YouTube and I don't actually know what it's about, but I've heard it's an epic fantasy. It's a pretty hefty book, but I'm really excited to see what this is going to be like. I definitely think running and exercising for me has been very good in terms of helping and coping with anxiety. It kind of just gives me a sense of accomplishment every single morning. So I literally just went for a half-an-hour run this morning, but now I feel like I've achieved something in my day. And even though I don't have any big plans for today, I'm literally going to be just mostly at home. I think I might be going out later for a food shop, but that's about it. And I think I do want to read my book. But yeah, I also want to get back into writing because now that I've got a job, I now need to carry on with my writing. And it's been a bit of time since I have written. I think anxiety is one of the hardest things. And I think unless you're someone, hello Freya, unless you're someone who deals with that, you maybe might not have a full understanding of what it's like. But for me, on a bad day, sometimes I really struggle to get out of bed and have the motivation to actually do things. And I think mine is more social anxiety and going out into spaces and stuff. I've been really trying to challenge myself recently to go into town, even if I don't need to. Go look at the shops and do some writing and take myself by myself as well, which I think is really important. But it's definitely challenging and it's very much out of my comfort zone. But I think that for that, it's training your brain to realize that a situation isn't dangerous and that it's actually fine, which is definitely a challenge for me because I was talking to my friends about this, but I've been in this weird state of fight or flight for such a long period of time, and trying to get out of that and train your brain into thinking into kind of tripping it, that everything is fine and that you are in a safe space, is hard. So yeah, I feel like I don't really go into detail about that type of stuff, but I was listening to a podcast about anxiety, and it's just so, seeing other people talk about their experiences and about what they've been and stuff is just really great for myself, because I'm like, okay, I'm not alone. This isn't like a feeling that I'm only having, it's a feeling that a lot of people have, and that, you know. But yeah, I think that it's really hard to explain kind of the feeling that you have. Like constantly I'm like shaking, which is not great, and I constantly, a lot of the time, will feel like I've got like a weight on my chest, is how I describe it, which is challenging, but I'm trying to like do things and implement things that will kind of reduce that amount of stress. And I'm trying not to put too much stress that I need to be working a specific type of job. I think especially being the age I am, 22, there's this big kind of pressure that you need to figure out what you're doing as soon as you graduate, and whatever that may be, and that if you're doing like a barista job, or you work in a bar or a pub or whatever, that's not enough, that is not an okay thing to be doing, when in reality, like, you're still earning a good amount of money if you're working for the right place. And in some ways, for me personally, I really enjoy working in like that type of environment, because it pushes me out of my comfort zone. I have to interact with a lot of different people every single day, and I have to obviously be on my feet every single day and be like moving and stuff, and that for me is good for my brain and for my like well-being. It doesn't work for everyone, obviously, but there is obviously this massive like pressure that like if you're not working like a corporate or an office type job as soon as you graduate, or I guess depending on what your degree is, if you're not working in something that was your degree, then you've like failed, which is obviously not true at all. And there is no time frame for when you need to figure things out, and it's completely fine to just want to work as a barista for a year or 2 years, or however long you want to work there for. I'm definitely trying to surround myself with people that are, or like watching content that is kind of in a similar sort of mind to me, because I think that everything on social media is like go, you need to be doing this and this and this, otherwise you failed. You know, you need to be doing this with your dating life, you need to be doing this like with your appearance, you need to be working out, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z, and it's like, that's not, you know. And I think that's where my anxiety does also stem from, is that I feel like I'm like stuck, and that I'm not doing what I need to be doing and making the most out of my day, when in reality it's like, it's what you make of a day. It's not about how many things you check off a checklist. Like, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, anyways, that's just like for some food for thought, I guess. I'll keep you guys updated though on my day. I don't know you, you don't know me. Give me some time, maybe we'll leave. And if I'm feeling you like you feeling me, then we could spend some time, but I gotta leave. Hey guys. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've been so unproductive today. I've actually been laying on my bed, like bed rotting almost. I think that's okay. Like, it's okay, I think, to have days that you just don't do anything and you just scroll on TikTok and stuff. Not on TikTok, because I haven't been scrolling on TikTok, but I've been on YouTube because like I said, deleted social media. But I get like stuck down a rabbit hole and I start looking at random videos and stuff, and then I like I have read a little bit today though. Not massively, I do want to read a bit more, but we are now 88 pages into my book. I'm really thoroughly enjoying it so far though. I really recommend. It's a really good dystopian book so far. Can't lie, I've been feeling a tiny bit anxious today. I don't even know why, there's no specific reason. I sometimes just feel a bit like I have a tendency that I can't relax. Like, if I'm sat in my bed or just laying on my bed, I feel guilty for doing that, even though it's completely normal and completely fine and everyone does it. Everyone just sits and lays in their bed and scrolls on their phone or watches a film or YouTube videos or whatever it may be, and just takes a break from thinking and stuff. But I still find myself feeling guilty because I'm just like, I'm wasting the day, blah blah blah. And I think also for me, I don't really have too many plans for the next few days. I am seeing my friend on Monday, but it's Saturday tomorrow, so I've still got Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm not working again until actually next Saturday. So I've got basically the whole week to kind of focus on things. I was thinking I might do a tiny bit of writing this evening. I'm kind of feeling a little bit motivated, but we'll see how I get on. It's currently 20 to 8. So far though, I don't know what this video is even going to be looking like. I feel like it's a lot of me talking, but I don't know. I'll be honest, my brain is just so jelly. I think I've just had a bit of a full-on week for me, because I've been used to doing like not a lot in my week, and then I had work and went on a date and stuff like that and all this stuff, so I feel a bit like, oh, so much stuff. Definitely having hobbies and trying to keep yourself occupied is a way of managing stress. I do really want to get into journaling, but it's just not something that I've like actually wanted like to pick up, because I know people do it in terms of managing their emotions and like keeping stress at a certain level, but I have like a diary that I probably could write in, but I genuinely just, I don't know, I just haven't like started, because I don't know what prompts to do, and it almost just feels a bit awkward, but I feel like maybe when I start, maybe I'll feel a bit better about it. I don't know. Yeah, for me, I like to, if I'm processing things, I like to just speak out loud to myself, which might sound a bit silly. I don't know if people do that, but speaking out loud and like processing things, or speaking to friends, family, whatever it may be, but if there's not those people around, I tend to just speak to myself if I need to process emotions, feelings, whatever it may be. My friends will know I send them voice messages because I tend to need to like rant and just process stuff. It's not even to get advice a lot of the time, I just need to get stuff out, and then once I've got it out and I can kind of understand why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling and whatnot. I do find it pretty crazy that not everyone has the same sort of like brain, the way that my brain thinks. I was watching actually a video by Madeline Argy, and she spoke about anxiety so beautifully in terms of her experience, and it's kind of crazy to me that a lot of people don't, well, not, I know, I can't speak. Obviously I don't know what people's brains are like, but my brain is constantly on, and I'm constantly thinking about things and rehearsing things in my brain, and like if I go out, I'll be thinking about every single action that I do and how many different outcomes I could have and whatever it may be. Like my brain is always constantly on. Even when I'm going to bed, it is still on, and I just find that, I think I've just come to accept that that's how my brain works, and kind of, yeah, I don't know. I just find it weird that other people don't have that. And I don't really talk about it with anyone about it, because it just feels so normalised. It's been like majority of my life I've had this sort of anxiety and stuff, that it just, you know, but I don't know why I'm deciding that I want to speak about it on social media, but I honestly just want to like, hopefully people can relate and feel a bit more comforted, I guess you can say. And I really hope that my videos are bringing sort of comfort to people when they're watching, because that is my goal when I'm making videos, is I want to make videos that people can watch and just like have a cup of tea or a coffee and just feel relaxed. That's definitely my goal. But anyways, I'm gonna go make food, I think. My hair looks kind of crazy. I just finished The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, and I'm gonna give this book a 3-star. I'm sorry, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate this book. I think it was very poetic in terms of the writing, but the ending, I don't know, I just expected more from the book. It definitely deals with themes of loss and survival and trying to survive in this dystopian world where everything it disappears at some point. And there is a very beautiful relationship between the main character and the editor that she's working closely with. I think it's so interesting that she decided to not name any of their characters. They don't have names, they don't have any sort of way to remember them by, and I think that truly represents what the book is and the ending of the book more specifically. I know some people really enjoy this book, but I feel like I maybe need some time to like think about it and come away and process the book. But I don't know, for me personally, I was expecting more of an ending, and it kind of almost didn't make sense to me, because I read the memory police as being this oppressive people that would monitor and enforce a lot of rules and stuff, but that just didn't end up being the case. But anyways, obviously I won't give any spoilers if you guys haven't read it, but if you have, please let me know in the comments. I'm so glad I finished this though. It was not too long of a book, it was pretty short, pretty easy read. I'm glad I've read it. I feel like it's gonna stick with me. I think it is definitely a memorable book, but it's just very interesting, the ending. I think people should read it, but yeah, that's my takeaway. To add about the book, I do think it's a very beautiful piece of literature that allows you to reflect on society and on memories and the importance and the power that a memory holds and the ability to think for ourselves and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'll change my rating. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I'm just saying a 3-star because it did take me a bit to get through the book, and the ending was not what I expected it to be, but yeah. But I do feel like that is with the way with a lot of dystopian books. They are obviously written to make you think about the society that you're living in and about different things and being appreciative about memories, for example, in this case. But yeah, anyways. It is the next day. I'm actually gonna end this video here. I have no idea what I've filmed, and I have no idea what this video is going to end up like, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, and that maybe it was comforting some of you guys to watch. Thank you all for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys.